Hey, everybody. Good evening and happy Friday. I think it's Friday. Yes, because I have some of my favorite clients and we only meet on Friday. So happy Friday to everyone, or whatever day you happen to watch this live, catch the replay. Tonight we're talking about delegating. Okay. If you are new here in this space, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Good evening. I am Christina Garrett. I am your productivity coach. I am the voice in the back of your mind, encouraging you to do more by delegating and breathing deep and sectioning off your life so that things are fueling you in the most fruitful ways. Hi, Kersha. So good to see you also watching from LinkedIn tonight. That's probably why you ended up seeing it. So anyway, it's so good to see you guys. I hope that you've had an incredible and very prosperous week. Earlier today, I did a post, right? I did a post about delegating because I had a client who was inquiring about how to shift her life and make things work in a more transcending way in her schedule, and she was trying to figure out what is it that she needs to do first. Okay. And so as we were talking through it, hey Janisha, as we were just discussing what's on her list, what's on her plate, what needs to be moved, what can be moved, the subject of delegating came up because often it's something that we talk about all the time in this space. Hi, Felicia. We talk about it all the time in this space. How in the world do I delegate better? Okay. This is going to be something that we talk about at the Mamathon conference this year, October 28th through the 30th in Atlanta, because it's really, really crucial to our success as women, our success as entrepreneurs or women working in corporate or all the things. Hi, Rochelle. It is one of our superpowers if we allow it to be. Okay. And so this tonight, I'm not gonna be live very long. My husband is on his way home. I whipped dinner together. Y'all hear me? Dinner came together really fast. Tikka masala, cabbage, rice, and then we just I'm sure he'll be coming in the door soon and we'll be winding down for the night, which I am so excited about. Fridays are like my go all in work day. And so hence I'm here this evening after client calls and working on our conference and all these things. Whew. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. So it's so good to see you guys. Felicia, Rochelle, Kersha, everybody who's watching on Instagram as well. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about this because I really believe it's crucial. Okay. I'm going to start from phase one. When we teach about productivity, I know there are a lot of people who define it in a myriad of ways. Okay. I have a whole workshop presentation on how to be more productive the Mamathon way. Okay. I'm looking for something. I want to find the definition. Okay. When you think about being more productive or improving your productivity is the efficiency of a product of production of goods or services expressed by some type of measure. Okay. So back in the day when we were thinking about Amazon, for example, hey, Jamie, thanks for tagging some ladies. When we were thinking about Amazon, for example, Amazon went to the next level when they figured out how in the world can we produce more goods at one time and get it to you faster. Okay. Their productivity, their potential, the business itself went and skyrocketed once they realized I can get things to you faster and I can produce more of it at the same time. So you start to see Amazon warehouses and all these things in the trucks, and they got their own fleet of trucks and all these things going up and down the highways now. It's a whole different spin. Because I don't know, y'all remember back when Amazon did books. Y'all remember way back when Amazon was a book company and you went there just to buy books like Barnes and Noble? And now you can go buy your bobby pins from Amazon and your supplements and everything else. They decided to pivot, and they also decided that they were going to become more productive. The amount of goods or services that they deliver to us over a specific course of time. Okay. So when we're thinking about productivity for ourselves, I got to ask you, what does that look like for you as a woman? If you're a wife, right? You don't have to be in this space, but if you're a wife, if you're a mom, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working in corporate and you're paid to fund a vision, right? To put your energy into a vision, what does that look like for you? Okay. What is your amount of goods or services that you put out over the course of time? This is what productivity is. Okay. Now, going even deeper into that, when we talk about productivity the Mamathon way, I told you guys earlier this week I had an interview with the founder of an organization called Cave Day, right? And what they do is they do these virtual caves where you go into a quiet power hour of time and y'all work for just 45 minutes or an hour on specific tasks that you show them you're going to work on. All you do is that task, and it changes how productive you are because you're more focused. Okay. We were talking over the course of this week and during the interview, and one of the things he asked me was he said, I just don't understand how you're correlating being more productive with doing less. And I said, well, I'm a mom coach. My t-shirt says it. Y'all see it? It's one of my favorite t-shirts. Asia's not watching tonight, but she got me this shirt. I am always looking for ways to lessen the amount of things that are on the plate. Okay. When you guys come to me and you work with me as a coach, between a coach and client relationship, all we're doing all the time is looking at what's on your plate, what's on your load, what can we move so that you can do more of the things that matter the most. So there are some things, okay? There are some things that come before you get to delegate. I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm sorry that sometimes we are configuring things in a different way. You come into this space and Christina talks about giving things away and assigning tasks to other people and all these things. But there are things that you need to do. There's stuff that should be on this list before you get to just give things away all willy-nilly. Before you get the chance to just live this breathing, woosah life full of softness. Y'all know that's a new word. Self-care was the word. Now it's softness. We just want to live a soft life. Isn't that the new thing? I just want to be soft. I just want to be able to be womanly. Like this, okay, all the things. If you're a woman, you can be womanly. Moral of the story. So anyway, as we are maneuvering through all of this, right? And we are trying to find our happy medium and where we fit in, we're looking for ways that we can provide more ease and more softness and more flow instead of having to be as aggressive or hustle-rific and all this stuff that we used to do, okay? In combination with refining our schedules, did you know that physiological stress syndrome is a contributor to 5 out of the 6 leading causes of passing away? Heart disease, respiratory disease, cancer, accidents, all these things that are a result of us always doing, and going. So delegating is a healthy part of us living a life of ease and softness and flow and all this kind of wonderfulness, okay? But in exchange of that, there's some things that have to happen before. And so Jamie said, yeah, try that life with kids. I'm an advocate that we can have any life that we desire with our families in tow. We can have any life that we desire, but we have to be willing to do these other things first, okay? So when we, the Mamathon Divas, talk about being productive, what we're going to teach at the conference this year, the pillars of productivity, okay? There are 4 pillars of productivity. When you build your house with these pillars, Rochelle, we hear you, mama. When you build your house, your strong foundation with these pillars, it works for everybody. I wish I could be humble. I wish I could be humble and say, but I've had Singles, I don't work with I work with single moms, but I don't work with women who are single and no kids. Okay, that's not my client. There are lots of coaches who take, as come as you are, right? I am a mom coach. That's my specialty. It's my jam. It's what I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. Okay. So as we are pivoting and moving in this dynamic, I need you to look at the pillars. Okay. I need you to look at the pillars. Okay. Pillar number one is to create a family vision. Okay. Create a family vision. The family vision helps you to map out what is the bigger picture of the family. Like Mama Rochelle, I'm a homeschooling mom of several children. Homeschooling for the Garrett family is not up for debate. It's not up for debate. Maybe one day we'll consider, oh, okay, you want to try high school or whatever. Maybe one day. At this point, it feels like more work to put them in school at this point. But we got to ask ourselves, what's on our family vision? What is this necessary component that you want to have in your family? This also includes, what do you want your children to say about you one day? When they grow up and they have a family of their own and they imitate what you do in your family now, if they imitated that, would you be honored or would you be embarrassed that they picked those habits up from you? If they communicated with their spouse like you communicate with your spouse, would you be honored or embarrassed? If they took self-care time like you take self-care time, would you be honored or embarrassed? If they worked on their goals like you work on your goals, would you be honored? Wow, look at my baby. Or would you be embarrassed? Like, wow, you're just sitting on this? If they became a finisher of tasks and projects and dreams like you became a finisher, would you be honored? Or would you feel like, wow, I really wish that I could have tweaked the example I gave you so that you could come back and say, hey, you know what, mom, you taught me this? Or do they have to get that passion out of the mud? Okay, let's look at these things. Let's analyze that. Okay, so as we are growing, as we are building, there's a family vision that comes into play. There are hopes and dreams and prayers that we have for our loved ones that when we found out we were expecting, even if it was a surprise, because I got some surprise kids myself. Okay, even if they were a surprise, you had hopes and prayers and dreams for them. Are we being an example? This is what the family vision looks like. The family vision isn't just for everybody else either. It's also for you. I don't want to wait until my kids. It was a very real feeling for me. I didn't want to wait until my children went away to college to feel like myself again. So I knew there was work I had to do. There was work that I had to do in order to shift that. For some of us, we want to be able to go, if you're single, you want to be able to go into that next relationship healed. You want to be able to go into that next level healed, progressive, thinking clearly. This is the vision. What are we even doing all of this for? Why are we doing it? For whom are we doing it? I don't know if that's good grammar. My son's in grammar now. All of these things are necessary components, okay? Create the family vision. If I grow up and I'm a fly on the wall at my children's houses one day, will I be honored or will I be embarrassed? Which one is it going to be? Okay. Number 2 thing that comes before delegating, communicating your needs to your loved ones. Communicating your needs to your loved ones. Okay. When we teach productivity, it always goes in this order. It always goes in this order. Why? Because sometimes we have a vision that we haven't told anyone about. Sometimes we have dreams that are only inside. All of this mamathon stuff that y'all are seeing, all the awesomeness has happened over the last several years. At one point, In my own mind, I told myself, there's no way that I can hit this goal and that goal and accomplish all of this. And then I went to my husband. I said, I have this idea. I have this idea, but I know I can't do it. I know I can't do it. We got the kids, the twins were small. All these moving components. He was pastoring, he was in school, he was working, I was doing things, like so many things were happening. I told him, I said, I want to do this stuff, but I feel like there's no way that it's gonna work. And my husband looked at me. He said, are you telling me that on one night of this entire month, good evening, one night of this entire month, that you want to host an event that's going to change somebody's life, that I wouldn't leave work early to support you and watch the kids? I had come up with the whole story in my mind, y'all. Felicia says she's guilty. I had come up with the whole story in my own mind that what I desired and dreamed of wasn't going to work. When the people that were in my circle were like, anything that you come up with is possible. So sometimes we have a story that we're telling ourselves. Sometimes we have ideas that were let out. Sometimes we have needs that we have not communicated to the people that we love in a way that they can both receive and respond to. You can't just tell them. You have to give it to them in a way that they can respond to. Mama Rochelle, I'm here. Hey, ladies, I'm here. The question is always, have I communicated these needs? Okay, I need time every day. Today, instead of going for a walk at sunset, I took a nap. I came and got in my bed. I let a movie watch me. And I just laid in the bed for like an hour or an hour and a half. I don't remember how long it was because I have been going so much all week. Friday is my day. You know, and then I had a client that canceled. Baby, I was in the bed. Okay. I said, well, listen, you text me when you ready. I'm going to take a nap. And I got me some wings and I came home and I rested. Okay. All of these things are beautiful because you're allowed to create the life you want with the family you currently have, but you got to communicate what the need is. Communication, I was telling one of my ladies earlier today, communication can be verbal. That's what we often think of it as. It can be written. Communication can also be your facial expressions. There's all different kind of ways that we can communicate our needs. Okay, all different kind of ways. But one of the struggles is we may feel as though if you haven't heard me or read my facial expression or how deeply I am going, because you're upset or frustrated. Hey girl, I know you hear me. All these ways that we're feeling internally, we have not said, baby, I think I'm PMSing. Like there are some days where I'm like, baby, I just feel mad. What's wrong? I don't know, but I'm just mad. That's communication. Walking through your house and looking at things like, guys, we need to get this stuff together, but realizing that if it's not together, it's because you haven't made it be together. So how do we need to communicate so the house gets together? What do we need to do differently? Some days I got to communicate to my husband, babe, I had a long day. I was doing all things. I'm going to do a late Facebook Live tonight. Communicating because we have a bigger family vision here. Some days he's doing a late live. I might fall sleep on the couch while he's teaching in his pastor's group. But what we're going to do is we're going to be leaning on each other and communicating. This is what I'm hoping to get out of this week. This is what I'm working on in my business. Pray for me about this. We're going to communicate. We're going to communicate about it. Okay, I'm frustrated about this. Let's talk, not just talk about it, but come to a resolution about it. What am I going to do differently as a result of this conversation? Okay, kids, I'm tired. Mama Rochelle has a lot of children. So maybe she's like me. She gets tired of talking all the time to the children. How can I lessen the amount of talking I have to do with y'all? For the Garretts, I start writing stuff on the whiteboard. I start writing things on the whiteboard. So Kimberlyn, thank you for being here. She says communication can be something as simple as communicating how we can swap duties, etc., to help the family function better today. And then, is this something we can repeat again tomorrow? At this current phase in our family journey, I can say, okay, guys, let's get the house together. Like today, y'all, I came back from running errands for my mom and my kids. They said, Mom, stay outside for 5 more minutes. I said, well, why do I got to stand outside? They said, just 2 more minutes. And they kept counting down. I said, guys, I got a client call in like 3 minutes. I got to go. And they were like, okay, you can come in now. And they said they had been slip sliding through the house on their socks the whole time I was gone, and they did not clean up. So by the time I came in, though, the house was clean. Did I have to hover over and micromanage that? No. And they know Friday, if I can help it, we're not doing no school on a Friday. Because, baby, mama tired. Okay? These are things that we are implementing in our family so that we have 3 days of school, 4 days of school concentrated so that we're fulfilling our family vision, doing the most by not doing the most. We're communicating with each other. This is what I expect from you. Hey, Tracy, this is what I'm expecting from you as a member of this family. And then I can delegate strategically as a result. But some of us, y'all hear, let's delegate, life of flow, softness, self-care, like it's a fur coat. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. I'm sorry. Who are these people? Every single day I'm supposed to just live this life of softness, just delicacy and luxury every day and all this stuff. It's ways for us to infuse this, but there's stuff that comes before it. There's a myriad of other things that come before you get to have ease and softness and flow and self-care on demand and all of this stuff. Kimberlyn, don't they be talking about it? It's the softness for me. It's da-da-da. But afterwards, y'all, they get off of the internet and go cuss out their husband, yell at their kids. Baby, ain't nobody learning softness from you. Ain't nobody learning no softness from you, sis. Softness is atmosphere. Softness is creating an atmosphere in your home, in your life of luxury. That we got something going on up in here that is a whole vibe. And if y'all recreated it with your children, I would be so honored. But can I do this every day? Can I figure out how to create an atmosphere of ease and flow and softness every day? So, for example, one of the things that I delegated this year was my son, my oldest son, who's 14, going to a homeschooling co-op. It's called, anyway, so they teach him pre-algebra and English grammar. Okay. Yesterday and the day before, y'all, we were on turbo. My husband had to preach at a revival at our home church and all these other things. So I was like, baby, we got to get your homework in. We're up talking about predicate nominative, which makes me want to put a toothpick in my eyeball. Do you hear me? Toothpick in my eyeball as a result. But it's like 11 o'clock at night. Okay. And we're up and we're doing, my husband is on the couch going to sleep. Everybody else in the house sleep. Me and him are up. Like, we got to get this in before 11 o'clock. Okay. As we're sitting there working through that, this goes against all of my innate homeschooling everything. Because I'm like, we homeschool so we don't have homework. Okay. So we don't have this problem. But as he got ready to head to bed, we just circled some answers that seemed intelligent so he could turn it in. Right. And what's so funny is he was like, Mom, is this predicate adjective or predicate nominative? And I looked at him like, I said, son, whenever I just nod and smile, it's because I don't know the answer, right? And we laugh. We're up at like 11 o'clock at night laughing together. And that is the feeling that I'm talking about. That's the feeling I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's like a tangible atmospheric shift. And I told him as he was heading off to bed, I said, son, I know this is a stretch for you right now. I said, but you needed to feel what it's like to be accountable to somebody else besides your mom. I said, you need to know what it's like to have deadlines for things. That sometimes as a homeschooler, because we have certain liberties, you don't have anybody, if it's mama, baby, we can do that tomorrow. It'll be all right. Okay. But he needed somebody that was going to hold him accountable. Okay. That was something I delegated. Look at me now. I delegated it though, so I don't have to teach these things to him. I just hold him accountable for making sure that it gets done. That being said, you got to create the vision. What is it you want to see? How do you want your life to be different? What do you want to see different? If you want your daughters to practice healthy self-care and self-awareness and vibrancy, are you showing them what that looks like today? Are you showing them what it looks like now for women to rest? Are your sons seeing now what it looks like when women go after their goals and take care of themselves and have quiet time and take naps if they can and all these things? Are we showing this in this moment? The family vision is the big picture, but it's what we work on today. The vision, a lot of times we think of it as so far off. No. It's today. The vision is today. You have the power to enact this now. You turn it on now. Sometimes we don't even know for ourselves because we have been doing, and Mama Rochelle, I see you. I'm getting to that comment. A lot of times we have been so busy doing, we no longer identify with what's the most important. So then you find out about delegating and you're like, oh, I really do want to give all of these things away to other people, but you have not created a vision of what you want your life to look like, how you want to spend your time, and what you want your family to say about you. And then you also have not communicated those needs to your loved ones. When I go too long without good sleep, it's like I hallucinate. It's like I couldn't drink enough coffee to get me going. None of this. So how do I need to turn my life and pivot my life so that it honors this experience that I want my family to have with me? I want my children to see their mom dancing to old school music and laughing loud and enjoying them 80% of the time. I want them seeing me protect a bubble around my needs too, because it's okay for me to have those needs. But once I know what I need, what gives me life, what gives me vibrancy, and once I communicate it to them, now I can figure out what can I move out of the way in order to delegate. Okay, so Mama Rochelle says, when I finally get my life in order with my family and things are going well, I struggle with being the yes person for others. Lots of people depend on me and it's hard to create that balance. This is all 100% real and I appreciate you. I appreciate you too for being here. I got to say, and I was having this conversation earlier, that sometimes we say yes to other people because it might make us feel good to be the savior of the situation, and I can't say that this is all of the things, right? But, sometimes it feels good for us to be the person that helps to resolve the issue. Sometimes we don't know how to turn off being the person. Sometimes we don't know how to re-angle that to say, okay, I'm saying no to you, person who is tertiary, okay? Like you're third, fourth, fifth down the list, in order for me to be the best version of myself for my primary and secondary people. So we might have to reframe the thought, right, Tracy? This is what we talk about all the time in our sessions. I got this thought, but I got to reframe it. I have to do something different with it so that it works better. Hi, baby. I love you. So that we can reframe it. Okay, we got to move it around. We got to pivot it a little bit so that it works. So if we say, okay, I'm saying I struggle with being a yes person for other people, right? How about I become a yes person for my family first? I could be a yes person. I could be a yes, right? I'm a yes for my family. Not every day, not all day, with balance, right? But we can be a yes person, but I got to reallocate who's going to get my yes. I have to reallocate. I got to tweak who's getting the yes this week. Everybody can't get a yes. So who's going to get it? Who's going to get my commitment for this particular day, this particular week? Like there may be a week or two, and I was telling my client earlier today, I said, where we have so many things going on in one week or whatever, but this should not be our always. It shouldn't be our always. We should have these moments where we very violently protect. I'm talking about like without a game. It's not a joke. We have to do it. We have to say, I'm gonna say yes, but who am I saying yes to? I cannot say yes to everybody, and it cannot always be to my detriment. It can't always be to my detriment every time. Who's getting a yes this week? I might have to tell my kids no so my husband can get some booty later. Right? Mom, can you do this? No, because I'm tired now. I need to take a nap. So when 10 o'clock rolls around, 11 o'clock rolls around, when y'all finally go to bed, I can drop it like it's hot and not fall asleep. So I got to say no to the secondary people so primary Mr. Number One get what he wants. Who's getting a yes this week? Somebody reached out to me about an interview. And I was like, is this advantageous to me at this point in my journey? Like now, media-wise, I can kind of select, what I want to do. I might still do it, but I'm looking at my schedule like, is this going to push me further to where I want to go? Is this going to push me further to where I want to go? Okay. So Felicia says, I'm learning to say no so much, so it's getting addictive. I have learned to take my peace back. I used to feel guilty to see my family and friends struggling when I was doing well. You know, one thing that I have learned, it's a way that I have gotten over doing well, and potentially other people around me might not be doing as well. Okay. And this sounds weird. I don't mean like friends or anything. Like if you're my friend, we may book a coffee time to talk and stuff like that. Even my friends, we go on the Google Calendar. Okay. Very few people, you can just pop up out of nowhere. Hey, and I'm about to take this call and we about to do all these things. Like everybody goes on the schedule. I don't care who you are. Like we're cool. We peoples. We still, because if we don't put it on the calendar, we're going to forget. That's what happens. Okay. This is what happens. So it's still protecting the bubble. It's still protecting that space that you have because you only get 24 hours in a day. There's only one of you. If you live with a dozen people, maybe not a dozen, could be 4 other people, 5 other people, 8 other people in your house. Okay, who's getting the yes this week? As you grow in your career and in the work that you're doing, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so if I were to accomplish 4 out of the 7 things that you handed me this week, what would those things be? Because I'm clocking out on time tonight. When I reviewed my job description, I didn't see that on there. I didn't see pop-up meetings. And I even let some of my clients this week know, right? Some of my favorite clients, love them dearly, right? Like them as people. And when I am able to, I get to their work quickly. Like they may send something for me to review. Multiple clients who are working on books, writing projects and things like that. I'm like, listen, you can send it over to me if you're pitching for a big opportunity. I had one client, she got to hop on one of the Instagram live series with Tabitha Brown, right? And because she was a part of the program, she had the luxury of calling me before the interview so that we could practice her giving her rundown and her speech, right? How she was going to holler at Tab, all this stuff. And she was the only person, people were reaching out to her after saying, you were the only person that was not celebrity starstruck. And she was like, I know, I worked on it ahead of time. So I have multiple clients who are working on special projects. And when I am able, oh, listen, hey, let me pull this up right away and give you some thoughts. If you have something big coming up, we can move your session up, right? To fit in another spot in the schedule other than your normal spot so that You get the support that I promise you. But there are also days where I say, hey, some days are my longer days. One of my clients got a text back from me last night, like 11 o'clock. I said, hey, some days are my longer days. I need more time in between sessions to review your documentation. Some days I can get to it the same day. Other days, you might have to wait 2-3 days, right? Because I still got my babies and my family. Even though you paid me, we meet every week on the same day every week, right? So, I might need a little bit more time to review that pitch or things like that. But that's open communication. Tracy said it's a game changer, right? To have access, like almost whenever, maybe not whenever, but almost whenever. Slide to the front of the line. And then there were other people that, even though I love them as people, this week I've had to say, hey, I'm sorry, but at this time, the only space that I have to review or critique your marketing materials or other things is designated for clients only right now. I can't go over your social media right now. I'm sorry. I can't do this right now. Right now is only reserved for people who are active clients. And I look forward to the opportunity when we can work together again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be okay with that. Like, I had to be okay with who is getting the yes of my time this week. At the moment, it is those who have decided to coach with me through long-term retainers, right? It's like, well, you get a different privilege than everybody else get. So the moral of the story is protecting our yes. And one of the things that I said, this has been several months ago, is that if you don't have a place for your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your energy, all this stuff, you don't have a place for it, somebody will find something to put into that spot. If you don't have a plan for your energy, for your time, for your goals, what you want to do with your life, where you spend your investments, all this stuff, if you don't have any idea, you will become a yes person jumping on the boat for everybody's everything. For everybody's everything. You'll be doing all the stuff. Oh, you invited me here. Yes, I got to go. Oh, you want to do this? Yes, I got to go. You want me to support this fundraiser? Yes, I got to go. I'm jumping back and forth. I'm doing all the things. All the things. For everybody, jumping through hoops for all this stuff. So if we want to delegate successfully, okay, for pillar number 1, create the vision. What do you want? What kind of life do you want to see unfold for you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want your family to become? What hopes and prayers and dreams did you have for them early? What do you want for them now? And how do we show them this today? Okay. Pillar number 2 is to communicate your needs to your loved ones in a way that they can receive and respond to. You don't go and tell your husband, I want more couple time, but he's sitting there watching the game. Tell him after you give him some booty. Tell him after you done dropped it like it's hot a little. That's the time. Not when he's watching the game or his way out the door to spend time hanging with the boys and all this other stuff. Tell him later, another time. You got to be strategic about communication. When you do it, how you do it, what you say. Be strategic about it. If you're trying to communicate things to your children, you can say, hey, these are the instructions. So you don't have to keep on talking about it again and again and again, what you want them to do. Did you write it down? Did you put it in some place that it can always be? When it's time for chores, refer to what's on the board. Refer to this space over here. Don't come and ask me about it. Okay, refer to this space over here. Now, after you have created a vision for your family that you know what you want to see, you know it when you feel it. After you have communicated your needs, now you get to delegate. Now you get to say, what can only I do and what can I give away to someone else? But we have to do that work. We got to ask ourselves, have I checked off the other things that loud lady on Facebook said? ahead of time? Have I done my checklist? Let me tell you something. I joined the junior league here in Montgomery, and last week, I'll say today's Friday. So this week, Tuesday, they had their mandatory inaugural meeting for the new people, blah, blah. I was definitely supposed to be there. But my husband also had to preach a revival that night. Do you think it was up for debate if I was going to revival or not? Well, my husband had to preach. No, it was not a conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just text the lady so I won't be there. I'll be at the next one, but I won't. I won't be there. It's not for negotiation. I'm not sick. I'm not pregnant. I just have a baby. I'm gonna be there because that is one of our love languages of support, being present, showing you that you're as important to me as I claim you are. That's for us. But your vision and communication will be different for your family. So I can delegate a lot of other things, but there are things pertaining to my life, my vision, my goals, and my family that I cannot give away. So after you have aligned some of those things, then you get to say, okay, wow, I'm going to give away my social media. I'm going to hire a virtual assistant and give some things away. I'm going to hire a cleaning service so that she can come and blow through while I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to lay out exactly what I want my children to do so that I'm no longer micromanaging the laundry or the kitchen or all this other stuff. I'm going to go buy all plastic, the 50-cent plates at Walmart. Y'all know the ones, they come in different colors, those 50-cent plates, so that even my small toddler can rinse off their plate and put it in the dishwasher. I'm going to communicate on purpose so that this is the life that I can have. So that ease and flow can become the normal, but not if we don't implement the steps, okay? And so the final pillar of productivity, after create the family vision, communicate your needs to your loved ones, delegate unnecessary tasks. If you do those three, you will alleviate your stress and your overwhelm through more self-care and more self-awareness. You will do it. You'll have time to breathe and rest and work on your vision and see things come to life that you never could before. You'll drop that extra weight. Your health will get better. You'll be glowing. You'll look happy and peaceful. You'll be able to look at your kids and enjoy who they are as people. All of these kind of things to be able to enjoy the beauty of life, because we're no longer on level 10 all the time, going from this place to this place, always giving out, pouring out, and we have not become a little selfish with the core of what is giving us the path to thriving. Okay. So that is it for tonight. Don't forget, October 28th through the 30th is the Mamathon Conference. Come hang out with us, grow with us intentionally. If what we share in this community has resonated with you, then the conference is definitely where you need to be. Okay. And then last but not least, of course, if there's any way I can support you through coaching in a 3-month container or a 6-month container, reach out, hop in my messenger. Let's talk about what your goals are. Tell me your life story, sis. Like, what's working, what's not working, what do you want to see happen differently, so that we can help to create you a strategy that works and serves you, your goals, and your family too. Okay. Tracy said it's good to hear all the pillars. Listen, we've been trickling them out, right? We've been trickling them out with you. And so it's just good to I say them all the time. I teach them all the time, even to like high schoolers. I've done it for college students, entrepreneur accelerator programs, all this kind of stuff. We talk about them all the time, because if you know what you want, you know how to communicate it to the people that you care about. You know how to delegate stuff. So the only job you doing is your job. Baby, you will have so much more peace, so much more tranquility and clarity, because you're showing up in the places that matter the most. Okay. And you'll also be doing less by default. You'll also be doing less by default. Okay. So that's it for this evening. I look forward to talking to you guys in Messenger. If you want to come join us in Atlanta in October, shoot me a DM. I got a discount code for you. And I'm just looking forward to meeting you all, connecting, and growing strategically. All right. Love you all so much. And I will chat with you in my Messenger. Good night.